This is a message to a divided nation, a divided Muslim nation. I was sitting the other day and a very, very interesting discussion came back, and it's something that I was exposed to so much in my past, but I hadn't come across in a while, and it sort of prompted me to make this video. And it was a very old discussion, a very old debate about beliefs and different sects in Islam. And these debates have been going on for long. These debates are not something that are new. They're not something that, you're coming with new information. They're debates in the realm of fiqh, the debates in the realm of aqeedah, the debates in the realm of the names and attributes, the asma wa sifat, the debates in the realm of topics that have been going on for so long and we have not come closer to really resolving. And so I sat with these people, and as we were talking, I guess a point came in which I stopped and I asked, what's the point? Why are we still talking about these same issues that have been going on for so many centuries, for over 1200 years? Now, I don't want to focus on the details of these matters and the intricacies of where in Aqidah Muslims differs and where they're split, but I want to take a broader perspective and just outline the strategy that the Muslim nation has been taken for a while. And you see these debates that Muslims host, and you see scholars and mashayikh that sort of criticize each other, and students where that grow this enmity towards each other, and this group polarization that occurs because each thinks that the other's wrong. And this strategy has been going on for so long, and it hasn't really yielded much result. And I just like to draw to a famous quote that I think everyone knows, and whether it's attributed to Einstein or not, I don't know, but it's about the idea of stupidity. And stupidity is defined as this idea of doing the same thing over and over again, yet you yield the same result. And it's the exact same thing with this debate. This debate's been going on for so long. These same issues have come to rise time and time again. Yet the strategy we take is debate, criticize the other, hold some forums in which this scholar and this scholar sort of sit against each other and debate these same old issues. And from a young age, at least for myself, I was raised in a group in which we were told that the other is wrong. We were told that the other is this enemy towards, the Muslim nation, and is this person that's innovating in the religion. But really, the other group, the other person, were just as sincere as mine. We're just trying to reach some conclusion. They just came to different results. And you see, when it comes to strategy, with every other thing in life, we pause and we rethink. If you're raising a child and the strategy of putting the child in a naughty corner whenever they take candy without asking isn't working, you rethink your strategy. When you're investing in a company and the company's not yielding enough profit, you rethink your investment. But when it comes to this sort of broader scale issue where there's this conflict that's been going on for so long, and we're taking the same strategy of critique and criticizing 1, 2, 3, for some reason we've stuck to the same strategy and we haven't rethought. Now, I understand for some these are really sensitive topics, and there's this sacredness around, for example, topics of aqidah, and this idea that there are no differences don't exist or differences aren't tolerable. But the reality is, the differences do exist. The differences are there, and they have been there for centuries. And it's about taking a pragmatic view and saying, well, they're there, they're dividing us. What can we do about it? And for this, I'd like to go back to a concept called in-group and out-group bias. In-group and out-group bias is basically a social psychological phenomena, and it explains the idea that by our nature, by our instinct, by intuition, we have this idea of feeling inclined towards our group, people that we identify with, and immediately thinking of everyone else as an out-group. And this enmity grows between the two groups simply because they're not considered part of the in-group. And this us versus them phenomena has been studied quite extensively, and I think one of the greatest studies to show this is this thing called the blue eyes, brown eyes experiment. And there was this fascinating social psychologist. She was actually just a teacher at the time, but this study sort of became one of the most famous studies. And so this teacher, what she did was she came to class one day. She decided to tell her student, blue-eyed kids are superior to brown-eyed kids. And before this, the normal friendships existed within a classroom. But the teacher then observed the effects that were occurring after she stated this. And so what happened was friendships started to dissipate. Hatred started to grow between the two groups. This massive enmity started to grow between the two groups. And it highlights a critical concept. This group conflict, this social identity that we form is a natural thing. It's ingrained in our biology. It's an instinctive thing that we resort to. We attribute ourselves to those who we see similarities with, but we distance ourselves automatically from those that we see as different. Now, many other experiments have sort of been conducted down the same line, but all of them highlight one thing. We have these ingrained biases towards our in-group, towards people that we see as us, towards people that hold the same aqidah, that hold the same belief, that hold the same opinion as us. But it also points us to a very important direction, that if we don't make ourselves aware of these biases, of these ingrained instincts within us, then we won't be able to move past them. It's every one of our responsibility to pause for a second and actually think, why do I think that way? Why is it that I actually draw this distance between me and the other group? Is it really just belief? It's like, what's the underlying phenomena that's going on? And only once you become aware and you really question yourself and you question these enmities that you've formed with another group, and you just sit down and you say, why, can you actually move past them? And so going forward, maybe we can pause, rethink why we have such enmity towards the other, reflect, question, and then maybe we can reach a different conclusion.